The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and do not necessarily represent those of the entertainment staff, except those opinions that are chauvinistic, racist, anti-Semitic, or those of a sexually violent nature. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and should only be taken literally by those mentally disabled or otherwise impaired. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Gather round, ye lads and lasses, set ye for a while, and hearken to me mournful tale about the Emerald Isle. Let's all raise our glasses high to friends and family gone, and lift our voices in another Irish drinking song. Consumption took me mother and me father got the pox. Me brother drank the whiskey till he wound.
Piper. Oh, you've been pulling.
Those are the only two that I have.
Okay. All right. Oh, talk
Go
about
over the beers quick. We're doing Ingenious.
Yeah. And some of them have done it where they blow, but I guess the better way is to actually put them behind and have it draw the air through, and it like sucks the leaf to it. And then what happens is it sucks the leaf to the belt, and then as the leaf comes over the other side and comes down, then it pulls the leaf off the belt and just blows it out.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there was plans for one guy that built a stationary harvester in New York, where he had built his for about $5,000 or $6,000, just
not bad,
in an old barn. So, but they don't, the way that they have it set up.
You can find us on Facebook at Booze and Belligerence.
Best of stuff. I'm up to like beginning of June of 2012.
Holy shit!
It's taken me a little while. It's hard to find the time. It was like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah,
and then I'll like space out or something and have to go back and listen. But I think that came up back then.
All you're doing is working out, pulling out the beers that we did, and getting the ratings.
Yeah,
I'm trying to cut stuff out for the best.
I'm not cutting stuff out anymore. I'm just making notes as far as times.
Okay.
And I'll have to go back through and cut the stuff out later.
Yep. That's a fun process.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we really need an intern.
Yeah. Well, with us putting up 3 episodes,
I wish someone would just if someone would just fire me and I could get on unemployment. I'd have time to do this. This is a full-time job if you really want to do it.
Yeah. So, speaking of that, we're... we wanted to start putting at the beginning. Maybe we'll make a new drop to put in at the beginning. But you can find us on Facebook at Booze and Belligerence. You can email us at bandbpod@gmail.com. You can listen on Stitcher. We're talking about right around the beer reviews will go in there too. B review to just stick to that and not start having like a lot of the side conversation.
Yeah,
because it makes it a real bitch for doing the YouTube one. It's just tougher than all fuck. So what I was talking about, it's real fun doing 3 episodes that I'm having to edit now. I'm keeping our long play director's cut, which is the regular show that goes up on iTunes. We then have the theatrical version, which is a slightly shorter one that's going up on, that I'm giving to Doug when we start doing the internet radio thing, and I figure out what our schedule is going to be for that. And then I'm doing the made-for-TV version, which is the one that's going up on YouTube and is only half an hour long.
Did you mention we're on an online radio station?
Yeah, once I find out what the schedule is for that and when he's going to start playing us and everything.
It is BNB Pod.
That's the Instagram?
That's the Instagram. The whole purpose of the Instagram is because it ties in the Twitter and the Facebook.
Right.
The Facebook. It ties in the Twitters and the Facebook. It puts us on the internets.
I was just going to say that one.
And the World Wide Webs. Oh, God. I can't keep all this straight, man.
Yeah, we're starting to get big now.
By big, you mean like lumbering. We're not like actually growing our listenership.
But it's not like we're not doing stuff to try and help grow the listenership now. We're actually at least trying to do something.
Need some help with that?
Holy shit!
It's just a flesh wound. Losing.
Can you call 911?
I'm losing a lot of blood.
I'm feeling lightheaded. Holy shit. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, you're supposed to keep your growlers in the oven like me, right? Hope your microphone's still working. Now you've set a depth charge off next to it. I love the color of this beer, by the way. Look how it pours yellow, and look how it settles.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
That's nice.
It's a unique flavor. It's I'll let you give the first review. I shouldn't say what it is yet, but I thought it was really interesting. This is in Centennials have an earthy taste to them. Mm-hmm. I wonder how many if you're at the Kuma's website.
I told Aaron we're all 50.
Well, yeah.
I don't see.
One of the last times I was up there, there was
They all got armpit hair.
there was a gilf up there. The last time I can't even say a gilf because there's no way I'd touch her with a 10-foot pole. There was a guh up there. It
was a gilly, a girl I'd like to ignore.
Can't trust the front wiper.
It was horrible up there.
Wow.
All right, so let's try to do.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm gonna be right about this.
It's got to be just an advertisement, then.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it looked like someone was home.
I'm sure someone lives there.
Why?
I wonder how many if you're confused, I wonder how many truckers pull over.
Just show up and knock on the door.
Like, this is a strip club? You're like, can be.
Maybe that's where the owners live.
No way.
The owners have to be making money.
I hope the owners are making more than enough money to live in that dilapidated piece of shit. I'd live in the strip club before I lived there.
Yeah. And the strip club isn't that great either.
No, but it looks like it's on a solid foundation. It's got that going for it.
And you probably wouldn't have horny old truck drivers showing up every night wanting a free lap dance.
No, I'm sure they still get that. I mean, it's a strip club.
Yeah, well, I'm talking actually showing up at your place of residence. And,
all right, we've been trying to consolidate the beer review into one time frame. We started talking about this a half hour ago. Good luck chopping this up in YouTube.
No, because I'll just start it from right here.
All right, RegionAle.
All right, so you said it's all New York ingredients, New York hops, New York barley. The barley's malted in New York too.
Yep.
What about the... Well, yeah, yeast strain isn't
No.
really that important. Are they shipping the water in from out of state? Or is that from within state, too?
So water's not part of the weight by volume anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's kind of bullshit. It's going to be impossible to do New York beers now.
Yeah. But all right.
It's good. It's fairly decent balance. Is it supposed to be an IPA or just an ale?
It's just ale.
All right. Because it almost tastes like a weak IPA.
Yeah. Not even considered a pale ale. It's just an ale. It's almost, I would say it borders on mild, except for that. Mild, it's harder to taste the hops. You can taste the hops in this.
Right.
It's not like your typical hoppy pale ale. It's a relatively mild ale. And it look at how light mine's gotten now that I've drank it. But it's funny because it pours out yellow.
Pretty cloudy.
It pours out cloudy and yellow, and then it settles into almost a light orange. And then as it thins out, it starts turning yellow again.
It's the dehydrated piss that we talk about all the time.
Well, look, yours is oranger than mine is.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mine's starting to turn yellow.
I think I can go.
I think it was 5.3 alcohol by volume.
Wow, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's mild, relatively mild beer. I mean, you're not dealing with
You're
not dealing with a high gravity before you brew anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not. It's hard to turn a lot of sugar into alcohol if you don't have a lot of barley.
That makes sense because I'm not really tasting a lot of malt in it.
And for as
more hop than
expensive as New York State ingredients are, you're not going to be throwing a whole bunch of New York State malted barley in that. So You'd be pricing yourself out of the market. That being said, that growler was $9.
That's it?
To fill it.
Wow. I think I can give this a solid 2.5.
Oh. That's what I was looking at, 2.5. I'd call it a session ale.
Yeah. I'd
say you probably, if this was at a bar and you were pulling this on tap, you could probably just sit and drink these all night. It doesn't taste like piss. Like a cheap beer. I mean, you're going to be paying craft beer prices for it, and for craft beer, some people want a kick. They want something a little bit more complex. I wouldn't say this is complex. It's a pretty straightforward ale, bordering on mild, but it's well balanced, and it's as if someone did a home brew, but they got everything right.
Yeah,
that's what I'd say.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And they're brewing on a small system when they make this, so you're not taking a bunch of different vintages and blending it together. You get your one shot, and that's what you get. So, I wish I could remember
sex every night.
I can't remember the names of the farms. Sorry. Did you need a rim shot?
Oh, do we have one?
No. You're looking around. I was going to take the top off of that, but bang!
That's exactly go ahead and do that, guys.
Yep.
Tell them we sent you.
Yeah. That Sack Scratchers would seriously consider advertising with us.
Yeah.
That's a lucrative guess. And I've been listening to a lot more podcasts about podcasting. And people that make a lot of money, like that podcast, and that's their full-time job.
That would be fucking sweet.
There's podcasters out there that turned 6-figure annual incomes.
No shit.
Yep. It's crazy.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Now, those podcasters do like 3 or 4 pinpoint topic episodes. And it doesn't sound like they're doing stuff that they're really passionate about, but they're businessmen and they found a market and they research it and they talk about it and they're really aggressive with their advertising. We're not going to get to that point because we don't have the time to do it. The reason that they're doing a 6-figure income is because they're putting like 10 hours a day into podcasting.
I think I could get passionate enough about Sack Scratchers to make a show out of it.
That Sack Scratchers would seriously consider advertising with us?
Yeah.
That's a lucrative advertiser right there.
That's also a very niche market.
Yeah. I'd put Sack Scratchers just above Pepsi. Just below Nike.
Yeah.
Sack Scratchers. We should stop. We're giving them too much publicity right now. This is all free. Do not go to sackscratchers.com. Not yet. We'll tell you when.
Well, I guess I know what my homework for this week is.
And if Sack Scratchers wants to get on the ball, it's almost Christmas.
Yeah. By the time get those orders out.
By the time this
it's going to be too late.
It's going to be too late. You're not going to.
But you'll be just in time to order for next year.
Get our publicist. Send an email over to Sack Scratchers ASAP. Tell them we still got time. We can rush this episode. We can get it up before Christmas.
I could get it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or, well, I can crack the whip on the intern and have...
Anyone can get it up with Sack Scratchers. No, we need a jingle. I'm thinking, I don't know what the lyrics would be, but I think it would be, and this might be a regional thing, it'd be the same jingle melody as Roto-Rooter. Except Sack Scratchers.
Yeah, that might work. I think we're onto something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
After we get done tonight, I'm going to go draw up a prototype for these.
Sack Scratchers. Looks like a ball scratcher, but a shorter handle.
Yeah, except, well...
and hooked at the end. Well, I mean, not a hook at the
end. You just penetrate the sack. It's just a fish hook that's on the end of a long stick.
Wow, I think we're moving a lot of these units based on this description.
But the thing is,
we We've gone from advertising to product development. A hook? It's not barbed, is it?
It could be.
It's not a sack scratcher. It's a vas deferens scratcher.
At-home vasectomy kit.
Oh, I was listening to an old episode about someone said I don't like finger play or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I don't like stimulation of the colon. I mean, no, maybe you said it, like, I don't like stimulation of the colon. And Lindsay's like, you mean the prostate? And I was like, no, the colon. Oh yeah, prostate, that's right. And I was like, oh god, yeah, you wouldn't go into the colon. And she's like, well, you got to go past the colon to get to the prostate. I was like, oh, I'm thinking of a different part of the anatomy. I'm thinking, pull it out, the hand out of the. We're only purchasing the sack scratcher. We'll be wearing sweatpants.
Most likely.
I'm picturing Carl from.
You see, I'm thinking
Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
See, I'm thinking we'd actually market them to like business people.
Yeah.
So you don't want to get caught in a meeting or anything, actually reaching down, scratching your nuts, and then having to shake hands.
I say they should
just pull out the sack scratcher.
They should throw in, or whoever's selling this. It's getting very confusing right now. But they should throw in, like, if you act now, you'll get our free shoehorn, but it's not a shoehorn. It's a pants horn. To create space between the gut and the waistband.
That's
to get the sack scratcher down. Yeah. Well, and it's all plastic. We'll farm this out to little Asian children.
We've got to make another version too. From when you get an itchy asshole.
Yeah.
They'll just go right over your shoulder, down the back of your pants, and you can just from the front without having to reach behind you or anything.
The problem with this is we're only marketing to 48% of the population.
That's fine.
No,
we can turn a profit off them.
You need a cunt scratcher. Well, and the marketing for that would be like, this is your solution before you can make it to the monostat. If you can't afford the monostat 1 and all you can get is the monostat 7, do they still have monostat 7? Shouldn't that have been obsolete by now?
Women's perspective.
I'm not paying attention.
Oh, do they still make monostat 7?
I don't know.
Is it just monostat 3 now?
I don't know.
Good for you. Oh God. That's a whole different problem.
I thought I'd been smelling something funny.
That was Brie.
I thought it was the garbage.
I thought someone was baking bread.
And brewing beer at the same time.
You're on the internet, aren't you, Aaron? Do yourself a favor and look up monostat.
I got an idea now.
We're just full of education.
All right, so we've got to come up with a name for this one. I'm thinking, well, twat tickler really wouldn't work.
No, that's a whole other market. You don't like cunt scratcher? From the makers of sack scratcher?
I think we can be a little more clever with a name.
Okay, but we are going with sack scratcher.
Yeah.
Okay.
How I'm rated, my nigga. Rockin' line the same shit that you standing in. Demanding winners, wrong clientele sounds beautiful like a mandolin. Yeah, I'm the man again. Leaving niggas froze like a mannequin. Pull out the lightsaber like a mannequin. Turning skins red like I'm Shanahan. My hand to hand is eloquent. I ain't after the pound, but I demand a gram. The streets don't wanna change the same thing. Live and die for the hustle, nigga. Bang, bang. Die and live for the struggle, nigga. Maintain. I think you're moving too fast. It's time to change lanes. The streets don't want to change the same thing.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
We're talking. We're making faces as we're drinking this. Yeah.
But
a year ago, could you have?
No. I don't think I would have even entertained the idea a year ago.
A one-man show is so much different.
Yeah.
Than dialogue.
Well,
back and forth.
I've heard people talking like it's like that Impractical Jokers show that I watch. Mm-hmm. the one guy from that, Brian Quinn, is on Tell 'em Steve Dave's show. And the Tell 'em Steve Dave guys are the ones that do... Is it bad? Did it go bad?
No, it's weird.
But they have their own show, and they do that Comic Book Men on AMC. And I've heard them talking about, it's just so tiring, just going out and filming this show, having to be funny for 8, 9, 10 hours a day.
Jesus.
It's like, what the hell are you guys talking about? I get around with my friends, and it's just joke after joke after joke. How are you getting tired with it?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of seeing what they're talking about with just having to try and keep on the ball with everything. It is kind of tiring and not really mind-numbing, but it does, kind of in a weird way, it does make you a little mentally exhausted.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's fair to say most podcasts, the majority of podcasts, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
We're making faces as we're drinking this, was it Uinta? Or
Uinta Yard Sale, their winter lager.
That tastes like no other winter lager I've had. It tastes like it's aged on like wormwood or something.
I think
I'm going to hallucinate
I'm getting
here.
coffee.
There's a minor coffee taste. There is
any kind of write-ups or anything.
Nothing. This is aged on something. This is weird. And it's not sour. Like, it didn't go bad.
Brewed with wind and solar power. Huh.
Is there an ingredients list or anything?
No, nothing.
This is not any... I mean, I don't think I really like it.
I don't either.
But I'd be really interested to know what they put into it.
They don't even have...
Because I'm tasting something I've never tasted in beer before. I don't know what it is.
At first, I thought maybe it was a barley.
It says Earth, Wind, and Beer.
Rye.
Maybe they put dirt in it.
I was thinking rye off the first sip. But that's not even it. There's definitely ground coffee in it. I don't think that's an aging of the malt.
There's a wood taste to this.
Or roasting of the malt.
You don't think there's a wood taste to this?
I'm not getting that.
It's even got a weird smell.
I can't place it.
I don't know what that is. I don't like it. I don't think it's anything in the normal brewing process. There's an ingredient in here that's throwing something off.
Is it maybe like a spice?
It makes me want to chew.
Tobacco?
No, chew the beer.
Oh.
And it's not even thick. There's something in this.
Because I was starting to think maybe tobacco.
Has no one brewed with tobacco?
I don't know.
It's probably illegal, right? It should be done just as a homebrew. Shouldn't it?
I know what I'm going to do with a couple of my cigars now. A couple of my shittier cigars.
Yeah.
I'll try to use them in a beer.
Yeah.
That might be interesting.
That might be.
I'll rip up one of those new Sopranos that Aaron got me.
Yeah.
Use it as an adjunct.
I like the color of the beer.
Yeah.
I like the carbonation. It actually had a head when you poured it. Yep. Like a red ale. Doesn't taste like one. Not getting much of a hop flavor. It's a little malty, but there's...
I think I'm starting to taste that wood that you were talking about.
It's a little malty, but there's an ingredient or something that they flavored this beer with. And a winter lager, yeah. And the horse they rode in on.
Oh, shit. Now we're done. I can't get those 5 minutes back.
I heard this is the most popular cable program in history.
Yeah.
A&E has the right to take off, if they wanted to, Duck Dynasty, because they don't like the way someone smells. Mm-hmm. As a corporation, they have almost the same rights as a person, if not more. And I think a person has the same amount of rights, and they could just quit. Like, this has nothing to do with freedom of speech. You are free to say whatever the fuck you want, and anyone's free to react however the fuck they want. Yeah. That's freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even apply in this situation. And you made a comment about everyone flipping out about Alec Baldwin.
No. What I said was I want to know where the outrage and everyone rallying behind freedom of speech when Alec Baldwin just a few days ago got his show canceled for calling a paparazzi a cocksucking faggot.
Yeah.
No one wanted to say a word about that for freedom of speech or being outraged that he got kicked off the air.
You said faggot. Are we going to get kicked off the air? That's laughable. Have you found any information about this beer? Yes. Brought to you by Sack Scratchers. Where I would almost spit it out.
Right, but it's going to take me a while to get through a 12-ounce bottle of this.
I think we, one of the other things on the format, so we don't have to get into it all the time, I think for the beer reviews too, we should record a stinger that leads into the beer reviews.
Yeah.
That talks about the rating system.
Once we start doing all the ratings all at once.
Yep. And then we'll be like, all right, you ready to get into the beer reviews? And then someone will hit the stinger. Whoa, Jesus, sorry.
And there goes the glass top from my table.
And someone hits the stinger, and it's like, the beer reviews. At some point, it'll be your weekly beer reviews brought to you by such and such. And it'll be like the sponsor of the beer review. I mean, that's looking
Sack
down
Scratchers.
Yes, brought to you by Sack Scratchers. It's like your weekly beer reviews on a scale of 1 to 3.
Yeah.
And maybe it goes into what... I mean, as long as people know 1 to 3, I don't think they really need... you can go into detail. 1 means such and such, 2 means whatever. As long as they know it's 1 to 3. Because I think most people's inclination is if they hear a 1, a 2, or a 3, they assume 4, 5, 6, 7... Excuse me. Out of anything.
Wow, that Ithaca is really good.
Especially compared to this.
Yeah.
I'm still working on this.
When we started the show, we were trying to come up names and trying to come up with names. We spent probably a good hour and a half throwing names around.
Everyone Booze and Belligerence sounded good. I remember when someone was talking about, and I wasn't even on the show. Like, there was talk about...
We did 3 episodes before you came on.
Yeah, you were sending me stuff even when I wasn't here about names for the podcast, Booze and Belligerence and everything. And when you said Booze and Belligerence, when I said it, I was like, that's awesome. I did not think of the practicality of writing out Booze and Belligerence for a web page. I mean, eventually there's going to be a .com. How does that work?
2 years in.
How does that work?
2 years.
Booze and Belligerence. How many characters are we talking about?
It'd just be shortened down to B&B or B&B Pod.
Yeah. Teak.
I'm going to go with maple. A maple veneer.
I think it's the same thing this beer was aged on.
Did you notice this is called yard sale?
Yes.
That says a lot right there.
Yeah.
Wow, that Ithaca is really good.
Especially compared to this.
Yeah.
I'm still working on this little sampler glass of this yard sale. Did you... what did we end up rating? I think I'm rating it a half.
1.
I'm going to rate it a half. I finished...
You were giving me shit because I said I'm kind of sticking on going to a 1 with it. You said you would finish it.
Out of principle.
And I was kind of on the fence about whether I'd finish it.
Yeah. I haven't given too many a half before. I'm more likely to give something a 0 or a 1 than give it a half. The problem is I said I'd finish it, but I'm sitting here having trouble finishing my 4-ounce sampler glass.
And here I am. Well, for Booze and Belligerence, I'm Aaron.
I'm Alan.
Here's to it and to it again. If you can't get to it to do it, you won't be able to do it again.